All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show. Check out Pig and a Pickle in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Marin, Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Well, the 49ers have drafted here in round 5 at pick number 155, and I really like this player. This is Darrell Luter Jr., a corner from South Alabama. 5'11", 190-pound corner, ran 4.46, 2-year starter. He's an outside cornerback who's got great length. The Niners brought him in for a visit. They looked at him before the draft. They looked at a number of corners. This really fits a position of need. The 49ers need to come out of this draft with a revamped secondary with some big-time players. And Luter is a really nice pick here. Smart kid, only had 1 interception this year. JUCO kid, went to Pearl River Community College. 2021, he had a phenomenal year. 4 interceptions, 10 passes defensed, and then this year he had 42 tackles and 1 pick and got an invite to the Senior Bowl. What I love about this kid is he's got good arm length, and he's around the football. He's around the football consistently. 17 passes defensed in the last 2 seasons alone. He's got a real nice frame, almost 6 feet. The real positive attribute for Luter Jr. are the arms. 33-inch arms, long arms, good feet. He's got a nice little back pedal. I don't know if he's a man-to-man corner. The Niners play a lot of zone, though, and I think this guy's going to be a good zone corner. If you look at the 49ers depth chart, in the secondary, you've got Diamador Lenore and Charvarius Ward on the outside, and then Isaiah Oliver, most likely your starting nickel. There's Miles Hartsfield, who's also going to compete for a nickel spot. But the Niners need more depth outside. Charvarius Ward and Lenore are the starters, but then the backups right now are Samuel Womack and Ambry Thomas. And is Quantrez Knight a corner? Is he a safety? I think he's more of a safety, to be honest. So what do you got? You got 3 corners that you can trust in outside in Charvarius Ward, Diamador Lenore, and Samuel Womack. I think Ambry Thomas at this point is very much a question mark. He had a very much of a down year this last year and regressed from what he had done the year before. They've got a couple players in Miles Hartsfield and Isaiah Oliver who can play that nickel spot. But now you add Jair Brown and Darrell Luter Jr. to a secondary that needs some alphas. They need some leaders. They lost Emmanuel Mosley. They lost Jimmy Ward. Those are 2 huge key parts. I think the 49ers are going to go defensive back once, if not twice more today. To me, today, day 3 of this draft for the 49ers is going to be about the secondary and the edge. They may go with another position, but I think there's a very good chance that they load up on edge rushers and corners. One guy to look for later in the draft is Stephen Jones, who plays at Appalachian State. But they looked at about 5 or 6 day 3 corners, and here we are in day 3, and I would imagine you're going to see them go for a couple of these guys. And the nice thing about this draft is it kind of plays into what the 49ers need. If you look at corners, late round corners, Terrell Smith is still on the board, University of Minnesota. They looked at him. Caillou Blue Kelly from Stanford, I believe, is still there. Rajon Wright from Oregon State's there. Isaiah Bolden from Jackson State is there. Lance Boykin, who they looked at from Coastal Carolina, another big corner, 6'2", he's there. Tyreek Jones is a phenomenal slot corner from Boise State. He's got good size. He's still on the board and is going to be there probably maybe even after the draft. So there's a number of interesting corners, and they've looked at a bunch of them. If you look at their pre-draft visits, they brought in a number of corners that are supposed to go on day 3, and there's one of them. Starks from UAB is still out there. He's a terrific player. Stephen Jones Jr. from Appalachian State is still there. They brought him in. He's I think a very good day 3 corner. But Luter is a nice pick here. He's got size. He's got arm length. He plays bigger than his measurables. And just that's an underrated program, South Alabama. This kid is a Mississippi high school kid from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And, last year he was a second team All-American by Pro Football Focus. Just a really talented kid. And if you go back to high school for Darrell Luter Jr., 3 years he played of football in high school. He played 1 year or 2 years of basketball and 1 year of track and field at Oak Grove High School. And was obviously a full-time athlete, a multi-sport guy. His full name is Darrell Akeem Luter Jr., and he was born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, the son of Darrell Sr. and Darlene Luter. And he says his favorite book is the Bible. His favorite team growing up was the New Orleans Saints. His favorite athlete in the NFL was Cam Newton. So his favorite subject in school is math. He enjoys playing video games in his spare time. A lot of interesting stuff in his bio. Would like to run his own business in the future. He was offered a scholarship by the University of Houston. He was also recruited by Purdue, by Rutgers, by Southern Miss, and by Coastal Carolina coming out of the JC ranks. He's majoring in sports management and recreation studies. But ultimately, what I love about this player is just that good size corner with great athleticism. And South Alabama is one of these schools that really produces some big time athletes. And the state of Mississippi brings in a lot of premier athletes. And this guy's not only an athletic kid, he was on the Sun Belt Conference academic honor roll. So you're getting a smart kid, an athletic kid, a good-sized corner who can play outside with great arm length and really, really good measurables. So I like this pick. I mean, the NFL comp they made on him was Isaiah Oliver. The irony of that, because they'll now be teammates. But I think this is a really sleeper pick for the 49ers. 4.46, great 40 time, smart kid, as I said. Good. I think he's more of a zone zone corner. Not his weakness is man-to-man coverage. But I love the footwork, I love the frame, and the 33-inch arms. And then when you look at the ball production, this guy had 17 passes defensed in the last 2 years. So I think it's a good pick overall for the 49ers. Darrell Luter Jr. out of South Alabama at 155. Niners have another pick coming up here in about 10 spots in round 5, and we'll tell you about that guy when he's drafted. But overall, I would say this is an exciting pick for the 49ers. Darrell Luter Jr., and he should give Diamador Lenore some great backup. And also, I think he's really going to contend for a spot on this roster. If you're Ambry Thomas, you better show up in camp ready to go, because this kid absolutely could take your job. You want corner depth. The old coach used to say to me, Krug, you know what the key to pass coverage is? Pass coverage. In other words, there is no key to pass coverage. You got to have guys. You got to have players. And the Niners right now, Lenore, Ward, Hartsfield, Oliver, Womack. You got 5 good ones right there on the perimeter at corner. You add a 6th in Darrell Luter Jr. I like the revamping of the 49ers secondary, and I'll give this pick absolutely a thumbs up. All right, hope you enjoyed the Krug Show draft video. Check us out on YouTube. And, of course, thanks for supporting Pig and a Pickle, our title sponsor, with locations in Emeryville and Corte Madera. And once again, thanks for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.